Crash by Jerry Spinelli, chapters 11 and 12. Chapter 11. The vice principal smiled. That's a good sign. Don't even bother to sit, gentlemen, he said. You're not going to be here very long. In fact, he leaned back in his swivel chair and clamped his hands against his head. I don't even want to know why you're here. He looked at me. I'm not surprised you're the first one to show up this year, Coogan. I hear you're a loose cannon. He leaned forward. His hand smacked the desk. We flinched. He smiled. But hey, first day, right? So I'm cutting you some slack. I'm also reminding you I'm a big football fan. You guys look like you can kick some tail. So what I'm saying is, save it for the football field. His eyes went from me to Mike and back again. Okay. We nodded. Okay. He nodded. Okay, get out of here. On the way out, he called, Gentlemen. We turned. Cross me and I'll have your butts for breakfast. In the hallway, I gave Mike a forearm. Hey, man, hear that? I'm a loose cannon. After school, we met at my locker and headed for the gym. We picked up other football kids along the way. We were all itchy for action. We started thumping each other, juking, throwing body blocks. And then the quarterback, Brill, showed up with a football. And you know we had to get a scrimmage going right there in the hallway. Down to the water fountain, cut to the science lab, passes, tackles, pileups, even the stairway. Others are headed for the gym. Hockey players, cheerleaders, even Webb. I nudged Mike. You believe it? He played midget football 1 year. He couldn't tell his chin strap from a jock strap. What's he think he's doing here? Mike grinned. Maybe he's going out for fullback. Football, field hockey, cheerleading, everyone was milling around the gym, high-fiving, kicking the football. Mr. Telliger, the athletic director, blew a whistle and yelled, All right, listen up. Football here, field hockey there, cheerleading there. Do it! Mike and I climbed up the bleachers with the rest of the footballers. The field hockey girls took the bleachers on the other side, and at the end under the scoreboard were the cheerleaders. Mr. Leitner, the head football coach, came to us. Us footballers all jumped up, pumped our fists, and went, ooh, ooh. The coach grinned, pumped us back, went up, and we went wild. Then we started talking to us. The usual stuff about parent permission and physical exams and all. All of a sudden, DeLuca jabs me hard with his elbow. Hey, I growled. I was ready to crack him. Look, he whispered. His voice was straining, squeaky. He was pointing to the end of the gym under the scoreboard. I looked. I figured I knew what he was talking about. Jane Forbes. Sure enough, there she was, a beauty amongst beauties. And then I knew she wasn't the one he was pointing to. After all, it was someone who wasn't even pretty, but who stood out 10 times more than the new girl from Wilmington. Penn Webb was out for cheerleading. Chapter 12. Pages 41 through 42. Chapter 12. Abby was in the backyard, crawling, pushing a 12-inch ruler over her head. What's she doing? Said Mike as we walked in the driveway. Whatever it is, I said. It's loony. I dropped my football laundry bag and headed straight for the phone. I dialed Pizza Mia. 1 pizza to go, large, pepperoni. 438 Waverly Way. I hung up. 35 minutes. Mike groaned. We'll starve before it gets here. I opened the freezer. Think again, Chief. I tossed him a half-gallon of the Seal Test Heavenly Hash. Then I got a jar of red cherries and some Cool Whip and chocolate syrup. We made sundaes in real Sunday dishes. Schultz says, You stink, said Mike. Schultz isn't worth 2 snots, I said. Eric Schultz is a defensive back 8th grader. Thinks he's tough. He thinks I'm supposed to be afraid of him just because I'm in 7th grade. Mike shoveled a glob of Cold Whip into his mouth. He says he can't wait for the first practice. He's going to send you home crying, he says. I smirked. Him and who else? When I get done with him, I'll be running over to join. He'll be running over to join Webb and the cheerleaders. I stood up, batted my lashes, twirled around, and made fists with my thumbs out the way girls do. Rah, rah, hiss, boom, bah. I jumped with both feet and threw back my arms. Bah. We laughed. You think he's serious, said Mike. Is he really going out? I shrugged. I don't know. I've seen that kid do some weird stuff, but is he allowed? I guess. There's boy cheerleaders in college. Yeah, he said, that's right. They're always picking up the girls and holding them with one arm. We both pictured the webbed one trying that out. We cracked up again. The pizza came and it was gone in 5 minutes. As usual, we talked and talked about football mostly and about the new shopping mall that's coming.